Hey, yo, I'm back again. I decided to. Somebody asked me, um, how did you do this? And I told him, I didn't particularly mix this one. The engineer that recorded Elijah Rock did a really good job, and I felt like I didn't have to. I felt like I didn't need to recreate the work for that particular song. And at a certain point, it was just I had to make that decision as far as whether it was worth redoing this because it was, as much as I would like to get credit for mixing the song, sometimes you just gotta do what's best for the track. All right. So I can't remember. Okay, yeah. There's a couple things that I had to do. So overall, the engineer that mixed the song, I apologize, but I cannot remember your name at this point in time. However, he did an amazing job. So if you know anything about Elijah Rock, go look at where he's recorded at. And the recording engineer mixed this actually really, really nicely, especially the background vocals and so DCMP is short for Don't Call My Phone No More by Elijah Rock. And it's a really nice, slow, um, got some acoustic elements in it, and it's really nice. You got Elijah Rock and man, I am a loss for words for who else is on the song. I really apologize, but a beautiful female vocalist on this song as well, and they kind of duetted this together. And I'm gonna show you what I did to improve the song, show you how I identified certain issues, and I'll walk you through that within Studio One. To begin, I did not use the mastering page within Studio One because I felt like I needed to do some what you call it, clip effects or event effects. What I had identified was that there were some mouth clicks, some clicks and popping within the song itself, and I went ahead and it instead of trying to go and fix that within the files that he sent me, I just decided to do that with some of our ozone gear. And on the event effects, what I had added was the RX D click. And what that did was it just cleaned up all the clicks and crackles that it would have caught. I think I put it fairly, I didn't put it as aggressive as I would on some other individual tracks, but it definitely it did its job by reducing some of the unwanted or unneeded clicks that would make it sound unprofessional, like mouth clicks and other stuff like that. It even kind of made the guitar string sound a lot nicer too. It's kind of like a residual effect there. All right. So that was the first thing I did. That's why you see this event effect or this little effects thing. I already rendered it down there. So um, what I so the next thing I did was I used the mix effects in Studio One to give me. I need a little bit more mid-range liveliness, and the Alpine Desk, aka API, really does that. So if you know anything about API, you know that the mid-range is very present, very nice. So that's what I use this for. Not too much going on. Okay. The next thing I did, I found that the vocals were out of balance in relationship to the rest of the instruments, especially at the climax of certain parts of the song. So I use Ozone, this module that you actually get as an individual plugin. I use that to basically rebalance the vocals. I just increase them by 2 dB, and what it does, it analyzes what's going on, and it helps get the volume and the balance of the relationship between the vocals. It detects the vocals versus everything else, and it helps do that. A, a key thing about using this plugin is the gain match. The way they do gain matching within this is kind of like live gain matching, kind of like a vocal writer, but it's actually a mix writer or a master writer. And I just do that so that it keeps it balanced for my next step. So without moving too far ahead, let's just go ahead and hear the master of the song, I'm gonna go over here to the middle.
I'm calling no more. No more. Why you can't focus on the finer things, not just designer things? Wishing you would call me back. Don't call my phone no more, but you're so irresistible. You lost conditional, acting out of line. Why you can't be traditional? If you was me, you'd be so pissed. I know, be so pissed. I know. If I hide myself, would you come and find me? Why be so grimy? Is why I'm telling you. Don't call my phone no more.
And there you have it. As you see the game match working. This is actually one of the most well thought out parts of game match within the new Ozone. It really made a difference. And then because they know we're going to use these in series with other plugins, so that was very smart by Isotope. All right, so let's take a listen without all these plugins on.
I'm calling no more. No more. Why you can't focus on the finer things, not just designer things? Wishing you would call me back. Don't call my phone no more, but you're so.
As you can hear the boominess, a little bit of boominess in the low end that's kind of overtaking the vocals. The vocals are they're sitting a little bit too far back in the mix. Um, you can hear a lot of the guitars are more present than the performer. So um, that's kind of a drawback of working with certain individuals. No offense to anyone, but if you have your producer mix the song, they're gonna want the instrumentation to be the star of the show. You gotta pick and choose, and that's one of those lessons you gotta learn as an engineer, and as you work along creating music, especially with certain genres. The vocals are what's important, and sometimes you may choose to let certain instruments take the lead, but the balance between the relationship between these elements need to be right. And as an engineer, for mixing and mastering, you want to allow those elements to be heard and blend well with other elements. So it's all about making the relationships better. It's all about relationships. All right. So I'm gonna turn the Alpine desk on, the API desk on, and we're gonna hear how that sounds with the mix.
I'm calling no more. No more. Why you?
Nothing too major, just a little bit of extra mid-range bump there. Oh, and here's where we can hear. We already heard this. Soothe. This is the this is the factory default soothe setting, and all I did was switch this stuff to mid-side. Check it out.
I'm calling no more. No more. Why you can't focus on the finer things, not just designer things? Wishing you.
That was a very key moment right there, but I found it to be obtrusive, and it just so turns out that Soothe was already set up for that. So check it out.
Why you can't focus on the finer things, not just designer things? Wishing you would call me back. Don't call.
So I know it sounds like it's sucking back a lot of that stuff. It really is it's very aggressive towards these upper mids here. But I'll show you what I do on the next step, which is EQ. So I did a lot of work on the EQ here because with the master, there's not much you can do with outside of getting doing like a stem master where you get like the main bus stems. Now this looks a little wild, but again, it's all in context. Check it out. It's only 3 dB either way. It's not that crazy. But check out what's going on as far as the mix goes and what that EQ is doing to the song.
Don't call it no more. Why you can't focus on the finer things, not just designer things? Wishing you would call me back. Don't call my phone no more.
It really, like, that little 3 dB of gain really opened up the mix. So what I did here, the vocals were pretty much centered, is what I observed in this mix. So I boosted the mid frequencies there, and that allowed those vocals to kind of come up. I'll go ahead and bypass these so you can hear the difference.
Don't call it no more. Why you can't focus on the finer things, not just designer things? Wishing
It really just gives that little bit of extra energy to the vocals in the middle. It doesn't just sound flat, like it's dead, like it's pretty much dying in the middle there. The rest of these are, to clean up the mix. These right here are where I've heard the issues: 1.5K, 7 and some change, and 400. Check these out. And then this one. And this one. Just some problem areas otherwise without it, the mix would sound a little bit it would be a little bit too cloudy, nasally, harsh.
Don't call it no more.
Just cleaning that stuff up, man. And that's pretty much it. So on the Kirchhoff EQ, you have the ability to control whether to control certain things. So I got this thing processing up to 117 bits. I'm not gonna go into detail. Go read the manual. It just does a thing that makes the EQ sound clean, oversampling, and even more nice, I guess. Here you can mix linear phase with minimum phase and EQ. Typically, you don't want linear phase EQ on the low end because it can cause pre-winging, or it can make things in the low end sound a little bit less forward and a little bit less impactful. So with the Kirchhoff, you can choose at what point the linear phase occurs. Right here, I typically choose 500 and below to be non-linear phase. Everything above 500 will be linear phase. That's how this plugin is designed. All right. And that's why you hear such a major difference in what these small EQ moves are doing. That linear phase does make a difference. All right, moving on. Moving on. Oh, I just used a basic limiter, nothing crazy. And it's the stock limiter. Check it out.
Don't call it no more. Why you can't focus on the finer things, not just designer things? Wishing you would call me back. Don't call my phone no more. But just
Man, beautiful song by Elijah Rock and his team, man. Amazing. And that's pretty much the mastering thing that I do. Is really not complicated. I aim for a certain LUFS. I don't believe I did that here, but I believe I did that on, I don't know if I had let me check something. Let me see something. I believe I did do a mastering session. If I know where to find it, I will look for it. Anyway, we don't have time for that. But that's pretty much how I mastered Don't Call My Phone No More by Elijah Rock. And you guys have a good and wonderful day.